Hey everyone, I hope this finds you happy and healthy. I wanted to record something today because I, I've been trying to avoid politics for the last few years after what happened during the campaign. I studied political science and international relations, and so I've always been very opinionated about politics, especially in the United States, my home country, and was very active on Facebook with my political views prior to the campaign. And since the election of Donald Trump in 2016, I've been pretty quiet about it because I just was so tired of everything, especially those 18 months leading up to the campaign when it was daily running battles on Facebook between people who took partisan sides one way or the other. But what I'm seeing right now has been truly disheartening, sad, and disgusting. What is happening in America right now and has been happening, especially in the last 3 years. One could argue that there's been a lot of problems in the U.S. for many years now, which I agree with. The system is definitely broken, and I won't even get into how incredibly distraught I have been to see Donald Trump tearing apart our country. But what I'm seeing now, in the midst of this pandemic and this just truly, truly sad incident, that happened in Minneapolis just recently. Um, Again, another unarmed black guy getting, basically murdered by the police, has been just so disheartening and sad. Those are the two words that I have and I'm feeling right now. You know, uh, for me, I try to live my life accepting everybody and giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. I have some strong opinions about things, but I also try to see both sides. And living a fairly international life, I guess I'm pretty accepting of a lot of different people, different styles, different characteristics, different personalities, different religions, races, whatever you have. And I just can't understand why so many of my fellow Americans are still living, back in the 19th century somehow. It's like, I love my country. I've always felt that it is one of the places in the world where you have the most opportunity to make something of yourself. This can-do attitude, is something that I'm really kind of proud of, that I inherited from my upbringing there. But when I see the nativism, when I see the populism, when I see the isolationism that's happening there, and this disregard for others, and the selfishness that has been coming. I mean, we should be growing more together as a group of people, as a country. I thought that all the progress we've been making with women, um, with minorities, it seems like in many areas there has been progress being made. But what what all of this is really showing me is that there is a deep underlying problem in the structure of our society. There is a machismo, there is a bravado that those 33% of Americans who support Trump really believe in. And this false bravado, especially among white American men, is tearing us apart. It's frustrating for me, some will say back in the States, well, good thing you're not living in America anymore. If you don't like it here, then get out. Well, yeah, I'm not there. And I'm happy that I'm not there right now. I feel sorry for my fellow Americans who are having to deal with all this bullshit. It's frustrating as a yogi, who's trying to teach love and compassion and respect and honoring one another and saying, oh, let's all say mantra together. Let's do yoga together. Let's raise our consciousness together. And then to turn on the television and see this kind of stuff happening. It's just sickening. I mean, it's so sad, and it really is showing the true face of many people in my country. That being said, I still believe the vast majority of Americans do not believe in this. The vast majority of Americans are accepting of one another. They are loving, they are caring, and they're looking on at this in total shock and dismay as well. We have to start to shift our perspective on this. I said this morning, I was talking to my friend Brian about how I was upset to see. I was devastated at this video that came out, this cop kneeling on the guy's neck, and I had tears in my eyes watching this. I was shocked by it, but then I was also upset about everybody rioting, and setting fire to Target and looting, and I remember saying to Brian, how is that going to help anything? It's making everybody look bad, it's taking away from the cause. And then I watched a very interesting video by The Daily Show, Trevor Noah, who's now hosting The Daily Show, who is black himself. And he gave me a whole different perspective. He said, there's a social contract when people live in a particular society. And that social contract is basically an agreement between the people and the government, or those people who are in charge, that if there's a certain set of rules to protect everybody abides by it, and that holds the social fabric together. And that's the contract. You don't hurt me, I don't hurt you. And part of that social contract is, you don't go out and burn down stores and riot and things like that. But on the other side, the police and the government officials also have to uphold that social contract. And when that social contract has been broken by those in power, then why shouldn't they go out and riot? Why shouldn't they go out and destroy things? There is no benefit to them not doing that. The social contract has been destroyed, I think, in America for a lot of people who are minorities, whether it's race or religion, gender. Why should they abide by the rules anymore when the rules don't apply to the people governing them? So part of me understands now the riots and the rage and everything else. The social contract has been broken, and the only thing that I hope is that this entire situation, I keep saying this, with every crazy new thing that happens in the States, I say again, maybe the whole point of this is to wake people up so they can see what's happening and they can take corrective measures. And I hope in this case that's going to happen. I really do, but it still hasn't happened, and these types of incidences keep happening over and over and over again. Innocent people being killed, losing their lives, or being prejudiced, being profiled, or having violence against them, whether they're black or Hispanic or gay, lesbian, and now it's scientists, who are being attacked. What is happening? What is happening? I think a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people are asking themselves that question, not just in America, but around the world. Like, what is happening right now? The whole world order is being turned on its head somehow. And I can only hope that this is happening for a reason. I do believe it's a big reset of society. And part of me feels like we have to go through this turmoil. We have to go through this shaking up. in order to start to open our eyes and realize what's happening, this undercurrent that maybe hasn't been in the forefront for many, many, many years, but it's been there. It's just been hidden. And now people like Trump and the leaders of some of these right-wing leaning governments, whether it's Bolsonaro or, or Orban or whoever, Erdogan, it's showing the true face of this minority. And I still want to believe that it's a minority of people who are really causing the trouble. And this is usually the way it is. And that, people are saying that this is, that if you go along with the government or if you believe this or believe that, then you're just a sheep. I don't believe that. There's a balance there. At least there's supposed to be a balance there. It feels like the balance has been lost now. Yeah, so it's a moment of frustration and sadness for me. I want to continue to do my own personal best to bring love and peace to the people around me, just kindness and gratitude. I think that's all we can do as individuals. And if every one of us tries to do that, it'll help. But there is a time to stand up. There is a time where we have to step into our warrior energy and to not let this kind of stuff happen. I don't condone violence at all. Practicing ahimsa, non-harming, is very important. But having your voice be heard is also important. Standing up, however you want to do it, and say, no, I don't accept this. That is important too. And I guess that's why this one little gesture of making a video to say, no, I don't accept this. I don't accept the hate. I don't accept that people continue to get away with stuff like this. It's just unfair. The sense of injustice there is really painful. And I am a privileged white man. I will admit that, But there are a lot of people out there who are not in the minority who also don't agree with what's happening. And we have to fight this stuff together. We have to fight against this idea of the other. We're all in this boat together. We're all human beings. We all suffer the same, the same problems in life. Of course, it's relative, and there are those people who suffer more. They're disadvantaged. But we all suffer from the same human challenges around relationships, around work. We all face life and death. We all face illness. And the more we can do that together, the more we start to come up to the same level as one another. So let's try to take care of each other. Let's try to band together. Let's love one another as human beings. And let's stand up for what's right. Let's stand up for what's just.